Vê se não tá no Wiki, caralho. Porque ele buga. Ah, claro que ele tá nessa porra. Depois buga. Não sabe por quê, né, bicho? Depois buga, não sabe por quê, né? Sensação. Porra. The factory must grow. Ah, bugou esse caralho, pera aí. Cara, esse jogo é cheio de bugs. Pelo amor de Deus. Pela madrugada. Olha só que filha da puta. Não responde a tela. Quer dizer, ele não. Ele não responde, não pega comando. Que delícia, né? Nem bugando. Agora vai. Ô, mas que arrombado do caceta. Deixa eu ligar e desligar o controle. Filha da puta, agora vai. O primeiro loading é um tiro no cu, tá ligado? É um demorando. Deixa eu ver, entrega é... Ah, Essa primeira aqui, né? Era... Suola. Vamos para o Suola.
Unidentified ship. We're going to attempt to scan you for contraband. Please comply. Ready, please. You're clear.
Sidônia. La muerte. Terramorfos. Los Terramorfos.
Stay away from the sixth circle.
Stay away.
We got lots of stuff. Just ask.
You bothering me for a reason?
Invoices can be collected from the... Oh. Not here for a delivery, are you? Do you now? Well, I do wish I could help you, Captain, but Dr. Walker has been missing for some time.
A shame, too. We had such high hopes for Percival. Not the sort of work the Trade Authority traditionally does. But we thought it had. I invested no small amount of personal. But then he decided to run off. I presume the miners have him hidden somewhere. Plenty of cracks, but at this point it's probably... Dr. Walker decided to start brewing and selling his own pharmaceutical. Something his contract expressed. Perhaps a little too severely, but well within.
That won't be necessary. The Trade Authority isn't interested in employment. But we would like the money he owes us, if you...
Pity.
Perhaps a little advance on my part might pique your interest. Visit the Sixth Circle, a bar on the lowest level of the city. If someone in Sidonia knows where Percival is, you'll find them there.
I sure hope this hearing loss is permanent. This here's the most important work in the galaxy. Reminder me.
Hey, Chu.
Ever been to Aquila? No security.
Hello, stranger. I was activated 17 years ago. I malfunctioned and have been in disrepair. Repairs are too costly, and I am now. My primary function is that of an auto. I can make general announcements and relay messages from one registered. All news and information has been supplied. I also have been programmed with a limited selection of jokes. No doom with this quake. A helpful reminder that subterranean particle fracking has resumed after its residents and workers alike are encouraged to heed the warning announcements, and thankfully, you can rest easy knowing that detonations no longer occur at all hours of the night. Don't forget, this month's target goals have been increased by 5%. Failure to meet your new goal. Good thing you do not work here. Sorry, you must be an employee of Deimos. Gone, but not forgotten. Rumors swirl about the return of the famed Red Devils. Authorities have, of course, I've been reporting this news for 15. There is currently no. Why did the snowman need a moist? Because his arms were sticky.
Nossa,
Goodbye.
ele cheira.
You know, I believe we've got the best mining team ever assembled. Welcome, welcome. Nice to meet you. Name's Trevor, mining director for the Deimos mining project here in scenic underground Sidonia. I could spare a minute or two to chat, so long as it... The who's and what's it? Sorry, mate. Sounds made up if you ask me. But then again, maybe the other mine. Yep, that's me. Joined up with Deimos when I was just 17 as a mining gopher. Go for this, go for that. I worked hard, proved myself capable, and got the promotion to mining director about 6 years. Some of the older guys resent me, but I give everyone a lot of leeway as long as they meet their quotas. Not so bad for one of the oldest mines in the settled systems. We struggle with the lack of decent equipment. As I'm sure you know, we're responsible for supplying resources to Deimos Star Yards, which in turn, that, among other major projects, makes us want the prestige and pay that comes with it, almost makes up for being stationed at the arse end of the settled system. Oh, that! Oh, nothing to worry about. We do fracking on Mars with subterranean parts. You probably felt the rumble when the detonations actually go off. Basically, it's high-tech mining. We use immensely powerful controlled particle detonations deep underground to loosen... Sounds way more dangerous than it is. Probably. Yeah, no worries, mate. I can totally see how to... Just sit down, or be sure you're within reach of something... Argos, huh? Yeah, I've heard of them. That's great, but... Unless... Maybe you could help me out with a job. I love the enthusiasm. Now do yourself a favor and... See, you might have noticed that our equipment ain't... Problem is, we can't get new equipment unless we start exceeding our quotas. And we can't do... I've got a plan for solving our... Okay, glad you're still on board. First, I need someone from the outside to bolster our yields so we can prove that we can exceed our quota. I'll fill you in on the rest of the details after you've hauled up some ore. One standard quota should do. I need to know I can trust you with the easy stuff first. When you've got enough, drop it off in the bin over there for processing.
The Office of Governor Hurst would like to remind all Sidonia citizens to keep their part. Sidonia Flint.
A friend offered me a nice cushy office job, but I'm making double out here in the Sidonia mines. Joke's on them.
Fácil minerar, né? Ô, filha da puta, vai ficar bem no meio, né?
break.
Not having any trouble mining the ore, are you?
Deimos Star Yard acknowledges the efforts
Okay.
of its citizens.
Great. Now, the next part is a little trickier. Peter's the only one who can approve the order for new equipment. And unfortunately, I think I've got a surefire way for you to get that job. Then you... Now hold on, it's not that easy. Head to the Deimos Star Yard's office up in orbit to fill up. Come back and see me when you've done that.
Ah, toma no cu, não, não, já virou putaria, cara. Vai dar uma mão, vira. Porra, tomar no rabo.
Broken Spear's upstairs. Go drown yourself there. This bar's for The hell are you from? The Red Devils? Best fighters since the Spartans. The hell you just say to me? I gotta...
Andy, sit down. You. Don't appreciate some stray wandering into my... Even the ones I should have cut off 2 drinks ago. Now spit out what you want, or
Doc Walker? Well, you're barking up the wrong...
Hey, enough. And you, why don't you come over here, Captain? Stray topsider wanders into my bar asking after a man like Percival Walker. Raises questions. What do you want with him? Is that so? Well, Captain, then you should have no problem answering if... Like knowing, for example, what supra... I see. And tell me, what Oh, you're something all right. But I doubt it's actually Vanguard. So... Stop. Even if I did know where he was. Huh. Maybe there is something you can do. Percival's got this debt put on him by the Trade Authority. You make that go away, prove you're a friend of him and the rest of us devils, and... well... I'm all... That's good to hear. Now, most straightforward way to take care of this debt would be to just... Of course, rumor is the Trade Authority keeps all their If someone was to break in there and adjust Percival's debt to... Now, what say you...
Hey, you. Maybe a bounty hunter? Come here. Heard you talking with Lou, so you're going to help Dr. Walker? Oh, good, good. Percival's a good guy. Listen, I know how you can do it without having to resort to any aqueous hematite. Mars is full of it. People think it's just garbage, but Percival and I, at least when he wasn't slaving away at his trade, but we stumbled on a way to make it useful. You give our research over to Octai at the Trade Authority, it should more than cover... It's mostly iron and about 3 centuries of human water runoff, though only Percival would... But it builds up around human settlement.
Se foda.
In order to avoid injuries, please report any spills or unsafe conditions on the upper level.
Hey, you looking for anything cool?
É, o jogo não tem mais as paradinhas, né?
Yo, stay good out there.
So what do you think? Yeah, it does. We were never able to finish the research. Spacers moved in. But if you can clear them out, I can walk you through how to fit. Then you can give it over to the Trade Authority. They'll get folks working. Jobs come back. I become a modern-day folk hero. Biggest employer on Mars has always been Deimos Star Yards. Fewer ships meant fewer minerals. That meant a... Great. So access to the deep mines can be found outside the city. It's not far. Shouldn't even need to hop back. We'd set up right near the main drill. Taking out the spacer leader should... Once you've managed that, phone up here on the comms panel and...
Deu. Puta que pariu, milão, bicho. Onde parar um cacete. Chumbo. Caralho. Deram duro da porra. Cadê ele? Caralho, meu amigo. Que porra é essa aí do time? Tá, porra. Toma. O maluquinho pra trás. Ali mais galudão. Galudão é foda. Era do loot, pai. Especialista essa porra. Mas eu tô um caralho aqui, né? Uma pistolinha. Me viu maluco. Ô filha da puta, termossuga, vai tomar no cu. Maluco. Fica por aí. Nossa, vai pra caceta. Uma giratória, né? E eu não consigo mirar. Invisível. Paulinho, beleza, cara? E aí? Boneco 58 é foda. Cara. Peguei alguma coisa quebrada aqui. Né? Mirar telescópio. Suaveiras. Eu peguei algum item. O foda é que eu tava usando uma giratória, mas eu não pego a giratória dele, né? Entendi. Porra. Ô, Mas... O foda é que a mira invisível não existe, né? Nossa, horrível. Tá achando, cara, é bom. É que assim, o que é o Starfield, né? É um jogo que quando tu joga Starfield, tu sente vontade de jogar o No Man's Sky. Quando tu joga No Man's Sky, tu sente vontade de jogar Starfield. Então assim, é um jogo bom, mas que... é um jogo que se ele faz o que se compromete, né? É um RPG espacial. Né? RPG espacial. Tem muito mistério. Né? Faz aquilo que se propõe. Tu quer, pô, jogar um jogo co-op e tal, craftar, explorar pra cacete e tudo mais, criar, pô. No Man's Sky, mas pô, tu quer um jogo com, né? Tu quer um jogo onde tu vai ter uma história foda, né? Conhecer ali um novo universo, fazer as missões e tudo mais, explorar o ambiente em si. É Starfield. Então assim, é um jogo bom, cara. É um jogo Bethesda, né? É um jogo Bethesda. Se tu gosta da Bethesda, tu vai gostar do jogo. Ah, eu tô... Cara, eu tô... Que nível eu tô? Eu tô... 39. 39 já. Eu já fiz o New Game primeiro. Eu tô no New Game, né? Já tô no New Game Plus já. Cara, eu tinha que colocar o lance da... Basic Mods. Combate. O céu também não é. Não, esse aqui deve ser uma coisa. Pô, Skyrim é bom demais, né? Cara, o Fallout 4, gostei muito do 4. Joguei todo o Fallout 4 também. É que assim, o jogo tem gostado da Bethesda, né? Gostou da Bethesda? Porra, tu vai adorar o Starfield. É, eu gosto bastante, então pra mim é perfeito. O Cloud é bom demais também, né? Jogar ali pelo Cloud, pela nuvem. Não seria a campanha ainda. É que assim, a campanha principal é legal porque... né, o lance de tu virar um estelar, né? Ver estelar e tal, ganha esse trajezão aqui, ó. Ganha esse trajezão e tal, tem os poderes. Tem um traje super lendário que tem que fazer 10 vezes o New Game Plus. Aí é, pô, meio maníaco, né? Não dá pra mim. Fiz uma vez ali, honesto. Pra conhecer a missão e tá bom. Porra, olha esse fuzil, cara. É, a nave, cara, eu tô usando a nave dos estelares, então a nave pra mim... Ah, tô no limite do peso. Pô, boa arma, isso aqui eu vou vender. Ah, cara, as naves, aquela missão lá é foda. Aquela missão, como é que eu passei ela? Pera aí. Tipo, como que eu fiz pra matar eles, cara? Tipo, eu só upei... Cadê? Eu upei escudo. Eu upei o perk aqui dos escudos. E eu coloquei míssel na arma da nave. Míssel é muito bom contra aquelas naves dos estelares lá. E mete-lhe míssel. E compra peça de nave. Pelo menos umas 10 e vai estourando peça de nave lá. Dá bom. Eu vou passar por lá. O pior é que lá, cara, é missão final, vou te falar. É missão final lá, hein. A missão das naves do planeta lá é a missão final. Tu derrota as naves.
All set? Good. You can take the elevator in that room back to the surface. There should be a key stashed in the thresh room if the spacers didn't make off with it. I'll be waiting at the circle.
É a missão... Tu mata as naves? É, o escudo... Pô, o escudo ajuda muito. Exótico. Acima do peso. Lá tu passa lá, passou das naves, o planeta acabou a missão. E escudo faz diferença, cara. Putz, escudo tu acha que... Não, escudo foda-se. Não, pior que escudo faz diferença total. Tem um elevador aqui, tem um elevador. É, os melee, cara, melee não... Putz, é legal melee, mas não é muito... Não é muito minha praia melee. Ué? Fazer o quê? O lance da munição tipo, tu fica meio sem munição. Vou voltar tudo essa porra. Cambridge. Lá no coisa. E a munição de início é complicado. Munição é chata, a munição. Tipo, cara, no social eu peidei ali, não consegui brincar de nada. Tô bem fraco nisso. Tô acima do peso, cara. Começar a pegar lixo, pego muito lixo. Entendeu? Era o social, né? Tá os cadetinhos lá. Nave. Aqui. O legal do Estelar são as naves, cara. Virar Estelar é o legal, é a nave. A nave é foda. A nave é bem loucona. Pior que a nave é bem legal. Putz, entrou pros piratas? Eu não cheguei nessa parte dos piratas da missão deles ainda. Não cheguei a entrar pros piratas. Nem vi dos piratas. Tem uma missão que tu escolhe, né? Que tu vira um agente duplo lá. Nem... Antes do New Game eu cheguei a ativar ela, mas não cheguei a concluir. No New Game Plus.
Hey, welcome to the city.
Nossa! É, uma recompensa alta. Pô, 330 tem quanto? Tem 150k. É uns pila.
You've got the slate. Let me see. Reduced joint wear? Oh, increased lifting capacity. A dose of this stuff could make a miner way more efficient. This formula's gotta be worth at least as much as whatever... Okay, so here's what you do. Tell Octai and the Trade Authority you found a business proposal that will make miners more efficient, and that you'll trade it to him for clearing Percival. Oh, this is gonna be great. Oh, and here, a copy of the formula for yourself, in case you ever... Oh, use that if you can. Good luck.
Chama o pai. Pois é, o preço de uma nave, né? Pô, 230k ali é o preço de uma navezinha. Do outro lado.
Was there something else? I'm never one to turn away an opportunity, but I'd be curious what you think you've uncovered.
Aqueous hematite, iron and wastewater.
And exactly what does this... An interesting proposal, if your data pans out. But where's this hematite coming from? The active mines would be... The deep mines could be an option, but they're full of... Well now, that is intriguing. A completely untapped resource pool. And the sort of utility every mine... We could contract out all the actual lab work. Bring on one of the hungrier mining and think what it would do for our image with the general populace. This mine. And what do you want for the right? Dr. Walker's dead? That's it? Consider it wiped. Well, it seems we have a deal then. And here, a finder's fee from the authority. Wouldn't want you feeling short. We'll just be taking that slate before you have any second thoughts. It was a pleasure doing business with you.
Ok. Tenho que parece que de plantar nas naves melhor. É, tu consegue fazer manobra, né? No meio de nave eu só upei travar mira e escudo. Não tem muita coisa upada na nave.
Did you know? Fine work. My end of the bargain then, I suppose. He's holed up in the old Red Devil's HQ. Place was sealed up tight after the UC shuttered our unit. But we snuck him in the back. Was also going to warn you about spacers down there. But, yeah, the passkey. And I'll let...
500. E lá vamos, ó. Cara, um bagulho que eu não mexi é entreposto. Ah, de pilota classe C. Classe C não são as grandonas? É grandona as classes C, né? Eu sei que cabe coisa pra cacete, né? Eu quero uma nave pra juntar lixo. Uma nave só pra juntar lixo, cara. Eu até me livro da nave do Estelar só pra ter uma nave dessa pra juntar lixo. Se bem que a do Estelar é... A do Estelar tu consegue carregar 1.200 de coisa. Né, que quando tu Estelar tu ganha, mas a classe C carrega bem mais. Ah, cara, tá lá do outro lado de novo. Reactor. E lá vamos nós, hein? Isso aí. Tu fez as missões da Freestar? O que dos... Acho que eu fiz, cara. Peraí, Freestar não é os... Freestar não é o do... de Acla, não é? Missão de Acla eu fiz do Freestar lá. As missãozinhas dos pistoleiros espaciais. Ah, eu fiz. Ah, é legalzinho as missões do Freestar. Ganhar arma também. Eu fiz e parei porque tem que prosseguir na missão, na história principal, né? Pra poder fazer mais de lá. Daí eu meio que fiz só inicial e parei, mas acho que tem mais, né? Quando tu avança na história principal. Só que eu não avancei, né? Só iniciei no Game Plus. Ah, então então não fiz tudo. Porque eu não fiz nada da principal ainda. Nem mexi com a missão principal ainda. Deve ser por isso que eu não ganhei. Não devo ter terminado todas. Não devo ter terminado, né? Todas as missões deles. Eu acho que tem que avançar na principal pra liberar mais deles. Ia ter missão da Mantis, né? A famosa missão da Mantis, né? Eu já fiz 2 vezes, cara. Fiz 2 vezes a missão da Mantis. Fiz no outro, agora no Game Plus também fiz. Só pra pegar o item e vender. Mas pra quem tá iniciando, a nave e a roupa é excelente. Cara, eu terminei o jogo com aquela nave. Terminei o jogo usando a nave da Mantis. Razor Leaf, né? Leaf. Terminei o jogo com aquela nave. Da guarida, nem lembro da guarida. A missão da guarida, a roupa da guarida eu não lembro com essa roupa. É que tipo, tem a roupa do... que eu uso, tipo, só uso o traje do Estelar, né? Tipo, traje do Estelar. Gasta menos oxigênio, carrega mais coisa, mais capacidade de carga, né? A mochila também é... A mochila também é equilibrada. Roupa do Estelar e tal. Daí só uso essa roupa, cara. Tipo, não sei se eu vou trocar. Vou achar algo muito mais foda mais pra frente. Depois da Estelar, tá ligado?
So you must be the one who got me out of the red with the trade authority. Can't say I don't appreciate it, but I doubt you came all this way just to do me a favor. Now you want to explain to me why you're going around harassing nefarious old men by wiping away. Tissue sample? You came all the way down here for that. Must be some damn important cells. A fast-growing Terramorph. That is concerning. Who exactly told you to bring this to me? Hadrian. She gave you this? If she made you come all the way for this... Let's get inside. I need this...
Siga Percival. Eu quero mexer com entrepostos. Nossa, estilo Bethesda clássico, né?
Gonna ask you to not touch anything. Got some projects in the works down here. I wasn't expecting guests. Oh, and Lou mentioned how you took care of the debt. Can't say I'm thrilled the Trade Authority got their mitts on the research. But I guess that's the price you pay not to live in a cave the rest of your
Mas eu quero, entreposto, eu quero ver como é que funciona e tal.
All queued up. Let's gaze into this abyss, shall we? All right.
É.
Just get those cellular markers tagged.
É tanto que falaram, né? Como é que joga
Where are the markers?
como é que joga o Starfield, né? Primeiro tu faz o New Game Plus, depois tu faz o resto.
This sample. It's Londinian. I'll need to get this all in the slate. Adrian really gave you this sample. You're not... Because if you told me this was a hoax, and it'd be the best damn fake I've ever seen. Can't just humor an old man, huh? This sample, it's got all the indicators of the worst Terramorph attack on you. I presume you've heard of Londinian. It was a city wiped completely off the map by terror. The swarms were so bad, they had to blow the spaceport and seal the place off from the galaxy at large. Not a lot of samples made it off the world from the time of the attack, but the ones that did, I didn't detect any of the telltale signatures this specimen ever sat on a ship. I don't think it was transported to Talvez. This specimen, which means, if we're about to start a new era in human-terramorph relations, where big, sudden... That's not gonna end well for humanity. So, you lugged this bad omen all the way here. Because until now, the Terramorphs that wiped out Londinian have... What happened there? It was a... So to find evidence for a similar attack on a different world. So I'd love to know what it is. The circle, huh? Here, faster we take the lift to the surface. Not supposed to use it, but given the circumstances, I'm inclined...
Ó, ganhei a chave desse lugar aqui. E temos para lutear aqui. É higiênico. Superfície. Superflon, vice.
I think I found something for you.
O círculo é aqui, cara, peraí. Tem que decolar. O ataque. Porra, como assim? Ué? Porra, é essa? Ah, é o bar. Sexto círculo é o bar. Sempre me esqueço do bar.
Do you see what I found?
Acho.
Need something, Captain? I was hoping you'd ask. Absolutely. You got it. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Um kit de lesão. Ferida. Uma querida.
Ever been to a viewer?
Percival.
Percival.
God, look at you. You're an old man now.
You're no hassling yourself anymore, Major. Our friend here showed me your sample. Suffice it to say,
Not here. Let's talk somewhere more private. Lou said we could use the back.
Siga Adrian. Adrian.
Lou gave me the abridged version of what went down.
makes two of us.
I hope it ultimately didn't end up. That's certainly not what I was expecting you'd have to go through. So, were you two able to get that workup together?
Got it right here. That sample? It's an exact match for the ones from Londinian.
Londinian.
Not thrilled to be the bearer of that kind of news. That's for damn sure.
Well, right now, we've got more questions than answers. So I've been trying to figure out what it's...
Good place to start. What'd you find?
It's in the archives.
The Armistice Archives? Doesn't that mean we'd be dealing with the cabinet? And the Freestar Collective? And House Varun somehow? Guess we can kiss that approach goodbye.
I didn't think the cabinet would be willing to hear us out either. But I called in some favors. One, they want to see this analysis you two have. And two, they want to discuss what happened on Tau Ceti. With both of us. The cabinet's the UC's highest governing body. The president, top military brass, scientific and diplomatic. Any major decision, the UC... They're the only real chance we've got of unlocking the archives. Well, when the colony war came to a close 19 years ago, with the signing, The UC, Freestar, and House Varun. They made a lot of decisions. All information related to the things they decided should be. Now, it's possible to get things out of there. And as to what our research is doing, well, that's about the best news I've had all day. But before... Percival and I, we're not just researchers. We were military scientists, ran a division of the UC together that deployed aliens on the battlefield as weapons.
Place I was hiding out. That was our unit's home base.
After some early fits and starts at other facilities, the place eventually became the heart of UC xeno-warfare, a practice that's been banned ever since the armistice went into effect almost 20 years ago. Oh, well, but it was during that assignment that the UC asked us to explore deploying. The project never got off the ground, but the data our team gathered is now sitting in the Ark under the watchful eye of monitors from all the galactic. But if we can convince the cabinet to help us access that data, it'll give us the tool and hopefully how to prevent more. All right. I'm gonna go get this work up into the cabinet's hands. I'll meet you.
Good luck. You two are good.
Vamos ver Pilita.
Okay, hello.
Vamos para... Como é que é? New coisa? Pois é, cara, vou te falar, tá meio demorado pra upar, cara. Eu já upei mais rápido. Pô, tá pesado pra upar agora, hein. Já foi mais fácil upar. De início tu upa muito rápido de início, né? Tu upa demais no início. Mas agora tá meio lento pra upar. Fazer uma missão não dá XP, tipo... Eu acho que eu ganho mais XP matando bicho pra caramba do que fazendo missão. Sinto só viagem e já ganha pontos. É? Então falta aí, né? Mais XPzinha. Ah, no começo é loucura, né? No começo tupa demais. Ganha muita XP no começo. Muita XP mesmo no começo. Não, quer dizer, tupa muito rápida, né?
Unidentified vessel. You have no faction markings or registered manufacturer. Please maintain course while we scan you. Assuming the scans even work on whatever it is you're flying. Scan complete.
New Atlântida. Pra vanguarda. Ah, a vanguarda é bom. Tem várias missõezinhas ali. É que assim, eu rushei muito. Eu rushei muito terminar o jogo. Eu fiz as missões do Galbank de pagar um dinheiro. E, cara,
The workup's in the cabinet's hands.
só o principal eu
They
fiz.
said they'll call for us once they've gotten to. But listen, I know I should. So, in the interest of full disclosure, my relationship with the UC, it's more complicated. I am a clone. of a man named Francois Sanon,
Acompanhe.
one-time fleet admiral of the... They called him Ve Victus. Woe to the defeated, in Old Earth Latin. The program I was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new, secure the leadership of the UC. A non-trivial amount of gene editing. Clone, honestly, isn't even really the right term for our relationship. Thanks to the... He and I are different on more than a few levels. But there's no denying the fact we're inextricably...
Pô, eu tenho que casar com a Sarah, cara. Pô, a missão é casar com a Sarah, né? Quem jogou e não casou com a Sarah, não jogou. Eu não joguei ainda, tem que casar com a Sarah.
I'm the last. A few of my siblings, they passed when we were young. But most of the rest were deployed to the front lines. Not a day goes by where I don't think about what the world would... He would have happily told you he was one of the great... The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed to Freestar Collective. And the things he did, well, they're a part of the reason the... So my involvement, it could be another obstacle they throw. I really appreciate you saying that. I just...
É a Lídia.
You know, while we've got a second, was there anything else we need? Or if you've got any... No telling how long the cabinet's gonna...
Pô, ali no Skyrim, que a Lídia eu casei com ela, ela ficou, tipo, uma das crianças, né, cara?
That's actually a souvenir from my time on Mars. The Red Devils unit I was a part of. They were founded by recruits who'd worked some of Mars' deepest... The dust at those depths, it seeps into everything. It became an unwritten rite of passage that anyone wanting to enlist with the Devils were always talked about in such revered tones. And the eyes were my parting. Eye strain from the amount of reading I've got on the horizon. The Terramorph project never went anywhere. It couldn't. The cabinet not opening the archives is probably a bigger risk than... Which probably wouldn't be a bad point for us to... Then I guess it's just a matter of...
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Vamos à câmara.
Sergeant Yubi is looking for reliable people to help guard.
Nossa.
Ah, welcome. You must be the captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have art?
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yes, well, precisely how urgent is what I hope we'll determine here today. So now, we have two petitioners here making a surprising request.
Pois é, Jenny, esse jogo é complicado, né, cara? Porque assim, pô, se tu vai comprar, cara, vou comprar munição. Tu gasta ali, faz 50 mil de munição fácil.
Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject. Perhaps you could summarize for the cabinet.
É, tu ganha bastante, mas tudo é caro.
That's quite the leap, Captain.
A inflação pega forte.
I object to the very premise of this meeting. While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, Terramorph attacks, they've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic. And at worst, a power grab by the daughter of a bloodthirsty warmonger.
Pior que quando tu faz o New Game Plus,
diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult.
né, o
I would also ask how many deaths the cabinet requires to act.
Quando tu faz o New Game Plus, tu perde dinheiro, tu perde os itens.
Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count.
Let's keep this civil, shall we? And while there should be no doubt the preservation of life stands paramount, Chief Yassine has a point. Will a single attack, however troubling, be sufficient to convince the... I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain. As the one who actually collected the sample in question, did this Terramorph...
Cara, não sei o que mudou, mas, tipo, quando eu fiz... Perde nave, perde dinheiro, perde os itens. Tu não perde o nível. O nível, a XP tu não perde. Tu continua de onde tu tá. Mas de resto tu perde. Perde as armas. Eu pensei que não perdesse, mas perde. Mas o nível não perde.
That is worth considering. This attack took place on an almost completely uninhabited. But if there's another attack, we'll...
Yes, a fine point, Admiral. So then, Captain...
Não, os perks não.
Given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you were in our
Os
position,
perks, o nível continua.
would you grant the request
Pelo menos
to
isso.
open the archives? That? I hadn't thought of that, Captain.
An excellent point indeed. The other powers would likely be much more inclined to work with us knowing that. Chief Diplomat.
That point is a good one. Very well, you have my agreement. The galaxy is lucky you were here today, Captain.
You and I are in agreement, Chief Diplomat.
É, vai pra outra dimensão,
So,
né?
if there are no other objections, I believe we can agree to give our full backing to make the request to... What was that?
Ou é um acidente?
Incident. Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
There's been an attack at the spaceport.
Caralho, Terramorfo aqui, viado.
Terramorphs.
Terramorphs. More attacks. Just as predicted.
Good God. There must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin,
Ah, já fez essa?
of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Rogan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. The nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there.
Ah.
I know you're coming, and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
We're on it, ma'am. Captain, I'm right behind you. Let's get down there.
Let's go. Ah, meu amigo. Porra, sério? Agora sim. Moral da casa é o quê? Tu vai ter as mesinhas de craftar lá na casa, o que mais? Eu quero começar a craftar arma, né, e tal.
That's it. Now give us everything you've got. Stop! We're trying to help you!
Please! I can't stop!
Ué, eles são malucão. Arma N. Ah, tem que encher a paradinha.
Thank you for what you did.
Pois é.
We didn't.
The way those people were acting. I've seen this before.
Influência de Pô, Terramorfo é fudido, né?
Influence, weren't they?
I don't know. We tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them out of harm's way, but some of the other officers down there, we couldn't restrain them fast enough. They just...
Pheromonic projection. Some Terramorphs, they can induce this
Terramorfo é um bicho
bond.
fudido, né?
It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control, turn against everyone around them, even if they don't. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our... Well, you better keep that EM weapon loaded then.
That's unlocked. Please.
Rapaz. Espaço Puerto. Usar a arminha, né? Usar a arminha pra brincar agora. Opa, nós. Algo pesado no bicho? Ué, ele tem voz? É, porra. Caralho, tem voz? Tô com uns status bizarros. Status. É o poder psíquico do bicho? Bichão bruto.
Experts? We've got the remaining creatures locked down on the landing pad, but we're barely holding our perimeter.
Pô, bem OP mesmo, né?
You've done this before. Well,
sim, sim. É, tem um poder de coisa bom. Nega assim, qual é o objetivo?
Can't risk them taking over anymore, my man. Put those things down and do it fast.
Nega assim, se o Terramorfo matar alguém aqui na volta, eu pego os itens, né? Eu não vou nem ajudar muito, ele tipo, usar uma arminha e tal. Eu quero é dropar item, né? Tipo, o Terramorfo mata os caras, pega os itens dos caras, mas não matou ninguém, né?
Heard you might be looking for some backup.
You two have any experience with Terramorphs before?
Only the brief they just gave on the way here. But
Surviving a full-on mental assault isn't the same as keeping your cool in a firefight. Might make...
we're not UC security. You don't need to worry about us. Your call. We're on the line.
Todo mundo junto, pai. Vem. É, só usar lutinho, cara. Quero loot aqui, entendeu? Aqui é um corpo. Um corpo pra mim é um... né? É um achado, né, cara? Pô, tava aqui minha nave, né? Cadê minha nave? Esse aqui é mais fraquinho, ó.
You won't be leaving here alive.
Ele vem sambando, né? Olha o NPC tancando, vai lá no NPC. Ela é botânica.
Can't let good resources go to waste.
Esse bicho é meio... Parece uma meio que aranha, né? Peraí, tô com sobrecarga? Olha o quê? O foda tá atirando e o NPC fica na tua frente, eu tomo ali uma rajada. Pronto. Posso voltar pra minha arma padrão. Ela tá no atalho. Não foi difícil até.
Guess they weren't kidding.
Like hell it is. I don't want to think what would have happened if you two hadn't been here.
Just glad we could rise to the occasion. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the Terramorphs have been dealt. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
Eu já lutei, né, já. Está luteando o homem.
I had no idea space travelers carried so much gear.
O loot. Tô pelo loot. Pô, pensei que aquela arma fosse giratória. Os NPCs usavam aquela arma contra mim, mas é uma arma de feixe. The President.
That's a relief to hear. Captain? Hadrian? It would appear that the Cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today. Your concerns about the Terramorphs will consider...
Thank you, ma'am.
Of course. I only wish we could have... Now, today's events, you will have our full support in collecting the Terramorph data from the archives. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the... As such, the Cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored.
Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed first, we're going to... Someone who knows precisely the sorts... The Cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative. We do. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. So, will you help us? It has its perks. Only citizens can purchase property in the city. There's also a credit disbursement when you first join. But above all, you'd become a dedicated... I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in. Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colony.
Quantos ganhei? 14.500, mas...
I'm gonna go check in with Chief Engineer Kulkarn. Start getting...
Yes, what? These orders. A Vanguard captain. You... Yes, sir. I'll make sure they get what they require. That must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre. I heard you were instrumental in protecting this. I was also informed that you gave quite the presentation. Chief Yassine wants you to know the Interstellar Affairs Office is fully committed to this. We're going to do everything in our power to make... And that means first getting you into the Ark.
Someone paid attention in current events. So, access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency, and requires a UC.
Now, the UC is already on board, so that means we'll need to convince 2 people. Get them both, and you'll have your data. No. Each is a strip of several million random numbers generated on the fly based on... They're impossible to create without those keys, and those keys stay with...
I couldn't agree more. Both ambassadors have reasons they won't, or can't, work with us. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code.
And I do mean cooperate. Threats and violence are off the table here. Though that doesn't mean we can't get creepy.
But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with. Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar, or Ambassador Balmore of... Ambassador Balmore's a challenge.
When the rest of House Varun retreated into seclusion shortly after the...
He's since lent his support to a small number of archival requests. So there's... Though claiming to know how a member of House Varun thinks is a quick...
Well, these days, they're primarily considered a security threat. House Varun Zealots, a fundamentalist outshoot of the group that stayed behind when the rest retreated in... But that hasn't always... After they ended the Serpent's Crusade about 70 years back, it's why they have an embassy here in the first place. Why they were leaving behind, to our knowledge, just the...
It does, but there's a concern. We're not 100% sure Balmore's actually... His public appearances were always rare. Scans of the facility show life signs.
Your task is to find him and kindly but firmly remind him of his...
The Varun delegation brought more than a few of their native... It seems those plants have been allowed to flourish.
Then you search the embassy for his biometric key, collect your code piece, and we'll go about notifying his next of kin. But let's hope it doesn't come to that. I have no doubt. Now, the embassy front door isn't an option, but our spies have stated there's a side. Here, this device should get you all the way down to the embassy. And fair warning, we received a report that alarms might have been tripped inside the embassy. Ah, the good Ambassador Ratcliffe. Now, officially, our office is suggesting you try and use your experiences as a member of the military and who knows? Maybe that'll... But my suspicion is we're going to have to rely on... Certainly. See, good diplomacy is all about the careful... UC Intelligence has a recording device planted in the embassy. But getting caught trespassing is a quick way to... So, if you are going to try and act... Now, we recovered some intel, but there's also a disgruntled staff member. All right. Here, your diplomatic ID. And take these. Chief Yassine wanted you to have... Now, if you have additional questions or require clearance for a new approach we haven't already... I'd suggest you start with Ambassador Ratcliffe. Approach her while the attack is still... Be smart out there, Captain.
Hey.
Ah, Captain. Congratulations on joining the ranks of the Vanguard. Yes? You needed something? Take care now.
Pô, tinha que achar uma lojinha.
You are a visitor? You'll find the ambassador in her office. Go on through.
Don't think things not as interesting as I imagined.
Visitors are only allowed in the lobby, offices, or conference room. That means
Os caras tudo com 12, tá ligado?
Terramorphs? As in more than one? All that security and they still can't protect their own spaceport. The UC never fails to disappoint. I just wish I hadn't received the news from an SSNN broadcast. We have a strategic advantage to maintain, Mr. Long.
Of course, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Excuse me. Are you supposed to be in here?
Guests can make
Mission.
themselves comfortable in the lobby.
I'm sorry. Do you have an appointment? What are you? Ah, you're the one McIntyre called about. The eyewitness. You have my thanks for what you did down there, truly. Now, she also mentioned that, and maybe it was just a bad connection, that now the UC wants Terramorph data from the Armistice archives. Some of them... I can only presume you're here to tell me I misheard her and that they didn't send you, local hero, to futilely beg on their behalf. Excuse me. A less level-headed person might think that was a threat, Captain. Let me be frank, Captain. The answer is no. That information is there because it is dangerous. I will not be the one responsible for its release. Now, why don't you quit wasting my time and yours, and go? You're really gonna push this? All right, I will... I'm listening. You know that for sure. That is interesting. That's all the UC would need to do some damage. Oh, please. Buttering me up isn't gonna get us in. Captain, I'm sorry, but my answer is not changing.
Deu ruim, deu ruim.
That woman is an absolute... Oh, sorry. Oh, what? You're the... You know, I was about to board the Nat to the spaceport when the alarm triggered. And, like, I've got you to thank for things not be... Well, then you have my earnest thanks. But look, they said you were coming here on official business. The ambassador likes to handle all that personal, even if he does have trained diplomats here to... And I don't want to get shipped back to Aquila City, so you should probably go speak to her. You were sent for me? Huh, maybe.
This building is Freestar sovereign territory. So here,
What?
we're the law.
Vai se esconder.
So you want me to work? Okay, first you need her bio key, and that thing doesn't leave her side. Better chance of... Okay, first you need her bio. Her quarters. Huh. And you... and... Oh, wait. I thought you were looking to hire me. Really? Okay, so... There's a utility corridor that leads to the ambassador's quarters, which you can access through the main conference room. Here, the key. Whatever you do, don't let the guards see. I'll keep an ear out.
Something else, Captain.
Meter-lhe o roubo aqui, rapaz. What?
Did I not make myself abundantly clear? Excuse me? I have no idea what you're talking about. No. If the council found out, I'd lose my position. I'd be exiled. Look, I believe we may have gotten off on the wrong foot. The issue at hand is one of... So perhaps if I can trust you to keep this little secret between us, then maybe we can find a way to trust the UC with access to the archives. You're joking, right? You want... Okay. Please. I spoke hastily. And I know you, my dear, dear friend, wouldn't want to let anything get in the way of the two of us and our factions. And isn't that ultimately what... In fact, I think there's an opportunity here. We can only get you the information on the Terramorphs. Anything else and people will get suspicious. And all research will need to be monitored. Freestar scientific observers making sure... But those two items should be enough to...
Okay, let's go. This is... Good. And you can bet the use...
Que porra é essa, cara? Como assim?
So then, you've thought about my offer? Good.
Do nada essa porra. Nossa, cara.
You should get out of here.
They tell me it should only take a moment. And there. Here you go. Code generators just this way.
Já foi. Juro, já foi. Uno.
Sorry, but I need sign off from
Exactly. It's like...
Pô, eu tô aqui nos bagulho, vou vender os itens. O bem que tem aqui do outro lado tem a lojinha, né? Das armas.
Rations?
for you, Captain.
I'm pleased to report that our stocks are current. Welcome to UC Distribution. I have been told it'll be up and running in 2 weeks, but you know how these things... Also, if you're here... Yes.
Take a look. Não giratória. Vender. Tem 2 talhadores, né, cara? Nossa, que é quebrado. Quebrada a brincadeira. E aqui que tá o ouro. Tudo que é lixo, não entendo, né, cara? Comum, lixo, comum. Incomum também é lixo. Comum. Seria lixo, fibra, lixo. Flúor, lixo, comum, lixo. Incomum. Nossa, eu lembrei 100zão na brincadeira.
Right. Come back if you need something else.
100zão na Brinks.
Can we run through it one more time?
Quer dizer, Varun.
I bet Sidonia was really something back in 2150.
Porra. Pro pipoca essas robôs aqui. São sem noção, né? Mas é avançado o computer. isso aqui, cara?
So, what seems punishment becomes providence. A reminder we can never truly know the Great Serpent's designs for us. You have my thanks, and my apologies for the ordeal you just endured. Come, let us discuss. Not the ideal introduction, I suppose, giving you a grand tour of the embassy via barely functioning intercoms. I do greatly appreciate your persistence. I suspect the Venom tree upstairs has worked itself into more systems than I'd realized. But then again, who could cage such a beauty? Eh? Tell me though, what is it like outside? I heard the broadcast mentioning an attack. Then the embassy was struck with a power surge, and then... silence. Has the rest of the city suffered? Harmless spores, you have my word, but hard to navigate. Hence why I was guiding you through the... It is the sap of the tree that gives it its... well, perhaps not a topic for this exact moment. But... is that right, huh? Now, it cannot solely be the serpents. You were sent by the UC. That much is obvious. And the broadcast spoke of Terramorphs. A worrying occurrence, certainly, but coming here of all... So, the UC requires information, then. On Terramorphs. The preservation of life stands as the very purpose of the archives. But, if I am to grant you access... For years, House Varun has been known only as an agent of... with little... In exchange for my code, I require this. You must be the knowledge you ask for isn't evil. No knowledge is. Well, then Please, follow me. Let's hope it still works. And there. Let it be used for good.
Present for you, Captain.
New Atlantida. Vou falar com quem, cara? Tomei uma entorse. Tomei de graça a entorse.
Captain, I just received a couple messages from an operative. Did you actually succeed? That's incredible. I wasn't sure. I'm very much looking forward to getting the debrief on how precisely. Regardless. And now, I've already arranged everything with the when you get down there, the UC monitor will give you instructions on here, the UC code piece and an archival access card. Absolute best behavior down there, all right?
Howdy.
Exemplar. Bem local. Tudo em elevador, pelo amor de Deus. Pela madrugada.
Captain, we've been expecting you. Please approach the monitoring station and we will go over the rules. Welcome, Captain, to the archives. To proceed, you will need to deposit your codes into the 3 corresponding receptacles. Once they are verified, I will open the door. Your data resides in Unit 18. You will not be able to access any of the other units. Once you've collected your data, return to the entrance. You may insert the first of the archival codes when you're ready to begin.
É um papel, tinha um papel coisadinho, né? Não posso ler. Vamos lá. A grande caminhada.
Captain. Surprised to find out we're having visitors as we work.
Major Sinan and I were just discussing the merits of your planned interfactional cooperation. I think it's a great idea. Get them invested in the solution. Make it clear we've got nothing to hide.
I'm sure they'll be lovely house guests.
Now, Captain, if you wouldn't mind transferring the documents to the Major, She and I have been discussing next steps.
Time for us to start getting some real answers. So whenever you're ready. Acknowledged and accepted, Captain. So with the data out of the way, we've been discussing where exactly this works. The Red Devil's headquarters on Mars, back where you found Percival, seemed the natural spot. Should even be able to house its own cadre of independent observers. Though it sounded like the deputy had a few more things.
Indeed. Even if you have made my life more challenging than it needed to be.
Then I guess we'll see you on Mars.
Captain, if you'll follow me.
Cidadania.
Yes?
Ué.
All right, Captain. Are you ready to become a citizen? It doesn't. We don't really. Once you earn your place in the United. Good. This isn't the only item we need to Please raise your hand. Captain, through your actions today and in days past, you have, through service, bravery, strength, and upholding of the mutual. Then, Captain, I'm pleased to welcome you into the United Colonies as a full citizen. Here, your official ID and your citizenship dispensation. We've also let the Aphelion Realty office out in the plaza know you're approved to purchase property. Now, the other item we needed to discuss. There's a member of the UC who's asked to speak to you, but this person is in a sensitive position. Normally, we wouldn't even consider something like this, given your performance earlier. But this person asked, so I need your agreement that everything you're about to see is kept in the strictest confidence. Let's hope it never comes to that. Head to the elevator. You're going to subsection 7. I'll make sure you're cleared.
I don't think we'll find anything but basic supplies here.
Logging authorized entry. Unsealing access. You may proceed down the corridor.
Welcome, Captain. Please, come down and approach the intercom. You and I should chat. President Abello was kind enough to give me a few files to peruse. Quite the series. But now you face a foe unlike any other. An invisible enemy, which is why I hoped we could speak. Do you? There's a reason. I'm Francois Fanon, but most know me as Victus. I was an admiral during the Colony War. One of its great villains, if you believe. But the previous regime deemed me too valuable to simply discard. A sacrifice on the altar. Even my death served the colonies. Very very astute. That's my daughter. Has she shared with you the nature of our... Did she? Our relationship has always been. The Major was born to become a great leader, carry on the legacy I established, and let the universe cut all that short. And I think I have a part to play. After some long years earning the trust of this current regime, the UC has been permitting me to work alongside one of their recovery teams, helping them gather intelligence on, locate, and organize scenarios, with quite a few successes, I might add. But in the names and locations of Hadrian and Percival's old research team, valuable. I'll tell you where they are, but there is a former colleague of mine, a man by the name of Dr. Reginald Orlaise. Like myself and Hadrian, he was involved in some of the United Colony's more problematic. If it dealt death, he could make a deal. When the colony war ended, he fled, refusing to face trial, but I finally found him. I'm not expecting he'll come quietly. Bring me evidence that the job's done. Good. According to my information, he's been hiding around the world of Etheria. There's a star station in the vicinity. The Den.
É tipo numa prisão, né?
Identity verified. You may proceed to the exit.
O rapaz.
I used to be an actuary.
Captain, did your meeting go well? I hope it's clear now. Surprised me too when I learned it, but the prisoner has proven useful. But I do think it's worth re-emphasizing. Good. Because bringing this up to the outside world would create the unfair appearance, Captain, that you're unhinged. And that's not a good look for any of us. Now, was there something... Dr. Reginald Orlaise? He's finally found him. Of course, killing Orlaise is completely out of the question. But bringing him... That'd be a huge win for the UC. Really? He found the members of the research team. We'd already initiated a search for them, but it'd save a lot of time and... Captain, if that's the deal, you have my endorsement. Just... Now, was there anything else you wanted to discuss regarding your meeting? The Den? It's a star station. Orbiting Wolf. The first one was blown to smithereens by House Varun during the search. The place has always acted as a remote strategic hub, but because of its distance from the rest of the youth, I can think of worse places in the galaxy for a criminal. Trusting the man downstairs would be a mistake. This is far from the first name he's handed over and all previous, so while I'd certainly warrant caution. Then I'll bid you good day, Captain.
Have a good day. Pô, tô pesado pra cacete, cara. Coloca algumas coisas na nave. E ter algumas coisas pra nave. Pessoal, é isso aí. Valeu. Isso aí. Até mais.